Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and give you my opinion on them, including big changes coming to Pluto TV under the new owners. We'll tell you what's happening there and why you may see Pluto TV get a little bit more friendly with Paramount Plus. Also, Hulu, ahead of their merger with Disney Plus, as the Hulu app is going to be shut down, is getting a ton of Disney Plus originals, giving Hulu subscribers who don't have Disney Plus access to a ton of Marvel, Disney's Star Wars, and more, all from this. And lastly, a major streaming player for local streaming to let you watch local news from your local ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS is being sold. Sinclair is making some big changes. We'll tell you what's happening and more here on all these stories. There's a lot to get through today. In a quick second. First, though, you can find a link to every story we talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find it there. If you like what we do, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, let's dive into it. Pluto TV and Paramount Plus could soon be merging into a single app. Now, this comes from an interview with some over at Deadline, the new owners of Paramount. Remember last week, Paramount merged with Skydance, and Skydance's leadership team has been taking over and putting new people in places of authority over at Paramount, including over their streaming. Tom Ryan, a guy I've known for a while, left. He was one of the co-founders of Pluto TV. After they were bought and into the new Paramount, he took over streaming for all Paramount over there. Now with this, the new leadership says two things. First of all, over the next 18 months, they intend to merge the code base of the two apps of Paramount Plus and Pluto TV. Basically, right now they're two completely separate apps, completely independently programmed and set up. They want to merge that into a single app. You've seen many companies do that. Discovery Plus was recently merged into the same app, or at least the same technology, same looking app, even though it was two technically separate apps, as with HBO Max. That means you make a change to one app, you roll it out to both apps. You're not paying two programmers to make two completely different apps. But then he was asked about merging the two apps, and he declined to comment. We've heard rumors now for a while, I have at least, that they intend to kind of merge them together. What does that mean? Well, probably having Paramount Plus also have full access to all the Pluto TV content. At this time, I don't think Pluto TV is going away, but I do think it's going to, at least in part, maybe in full, live inside the Paramount Plus app. Now, you see this happening a few things. Freevee, Amazon service, later this month, early next month, we don't have an exact date when this will happen, will shut down, and it will live now in the Paramount Plus app. You'll still be able to get all the live channels, but, Pluto or Prime Video app, I said Paramount Plus. I expect Paramount Plus to do the same thing. You know, that way people are watching content for free over on Pluto TV. It's much easier to try to tempt them to subscribe into Paramount Plus from Pluto TV's content. We'll watch, but will the standalone app of Pluto TV go away like Freevee's gone away? Like we see Hulu going away? We'll have to wait and see. For now, that's at least a year away, and they're not talking about it. Also, Hulu, in our next story up, is getting some free content. Now, next year, Hulu is going to shut down their apps, and the only way to access Hulu on-demand content will be through Hulu, its partnership on the Disney Plus app. Now, what that means for Hulu Plus Live TV is unknown. That's probably going to be something that the newly merged company, remember that's being spun off into an independent company outside of Disney in a joint venture with Fubo, will have to deal with. But Hulu subscribers, starting today from when this goes live, is going to get a ton of Disney Plus originals, including The Mandalorian, Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, Loki, WandaVision, Hawkeye, the complete season 1, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and more will all be streaming on it. More Disney Plus original content is going to roll out over the next few weeks, including Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, and more. I suspect that this is an attempt of two things. First of all, to give you a taste of all this original content from Disney Plus as a Hulu subscriber, to get you to take advantage of the bundles with Disney Plus. I also think that this is another step in the end of Hulu as an independent app. I think Hulu is going to just be a category. I think at some point you won't be able to subscribe to just Hulu. It'll be you need Disney Plus as a subscription, and then Hulu is like an add-on package to get even more content at some point in the future. Is that going to happen right when the Hulu app shuts down? Probably not. But it wouldn't surprise me if next year or the year after or some point in the future, Disney just merges everything into Disney Plus. And if you don't have Disney Plus, you won't be able to get Hulu anymore. That's where I think this is going. I've said this before, there are too many streaming services. Disney can't justify Hulu and Disney Plus. Why have both when you could just merge them into a single one and try to drive more subscribers that way? Side note, by the way, that new King of the Hill season that just came out on Hulu, really good, right? I would pay just to watch that. I'm a huge King of the Hill fan, and my wife is too. But, you know, if it wasn't for my kids, would I have Disney Plus? Probably not. But I would go get it if that's the only way I could get King of the Hill. And I think that's what Disney's trying to do here, to drive up Disney Plus subscriptions. I don't know the number, but I suspect many Hulu subscribers still don't have Disney Plus. All right, next up. We just talked about this week that Sinclair had announced plans to review their business, split off some parts of the business they didn't want, and look at mergers and acquisitions to expand the number of ownership of local television stations and more. Well, not 24 hours later from when we learned that, Sinclair announced that they've sold their news streaming service, News On, which is a service I've recommended for some time. It gives you live local news and allows you to watch a ton of your local ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS stations, not just from Sinclair stations, but from many other providers there, live and on demand whenever you want, even if you don't have an antenna or a cable TV subscription. Really nice way to get your local news. I love it. And a nice way to watch news of other parts of the country if you don't live there. Now, they're selling it to ZM, however you say it. This streaming service right here. They do the exact same thing. They offer local news from around the world from a variety of different TV stations. And now they're going to combine the two services. News On, from the way I read this, is going to go away, and everything's going to merge into the new app once it's closed. No idea when that's going to happen, but I think that's where this is moving. Again, why have there, there's also Haystack, and there's a few other ones, a bunch of independent stations that have their own apps. At some point, you have to say, how come there's 4 different services, all free, all doing the exact same thing, before you understand why you see consolidation in this market with it. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but I'll be honest, if you want free access to news, these are really good apps to do that. I really loved it. For example, when there's an earthquake, when there was the fires in California or a hurricane down south, it's really nice. Skip the national feed, go to a local TV station to get the most up-to-date news on what's really happening with those fires or hurricanes or other natural disasters or big news events. I've really enjoyed these apps for free access to that. Highly, highly recommend it. When this is closed, I don't know. It does need to be approved. There's a few steps. We'll have full coverage. I will say, I hope they're keeping a lot of the News On team. I've known them when they were a small independent startup. Very nice group of people over there. Kind of lost touch with them after I sold the company and bought it back. But very excited to see that the technology and the service will continue. And I hope you're giving them a try, because I'm a big supporter of local news. All right, next up, HBO Max is extending its partnership with G Kids to get more 4K Japanese anime and live action coming soon. Now, this is adult-focused content, how they described it in the press release. Remember, HBO Max has been moving away from a lot of the kid-focused content. They dumped Sesame Street and other content with this. And they are adding a bunch of content, including one, I'm going to recommend this one. I've seen this one, really liked it. Summer Wars was included with this as one of the, with that. Highly recommend. I think it was called Summer Wars. But quite a few content here. High quality, 4K coming to HBO Max, and more from G Kids coming there too. Highly recommend it. All right, Fandom, which is another streaming service to buy movies and television shows. Very successful. This was Vudu at one point, owned by Walmart, sold, now called I think Fandom at Home is what the app is called, is now going to start offering pay-per-view services on this. You'll be able to get pay-per-view boxing and other sporting events with this. and be able to stream it through your Fandom app if you've been looking for another one. If you still remember your old Voodoo login, I used to use that a lot. Remember when you get a DVD and get the code also to put in there? I had quite a few movies on that. Honestly, I don't really look at it too much anymore. Probably should. But check it out. They're bringing pay-per-view events to it now. All right, you ready for some new over-the-air TV now, channels? Sinclair has announced a partnership to expand some of its free over-the-air TV networks. Now, Comet is a joint venture with MGM, now owned by Amazon. It's a 24/7 free sci-fi network. Comet TV, highly recommend it. Really love it. They've often had things like Babylon 5, Stargate, and more really good content. Charge, Roar, and The Nest are all going to be coming to more markets with this in this partnership. We have a full list of all the markets being added with this, but Sinclair is expanding the reach of it. Of all these channels, Comet is my favorite. They do really good lineup of content movies because they have access to the MGM lineup of content with their partnership with MGM. While Sinclair owns it, MGM runs it. Check it out. Link in the show notes if you want to find if these networks are coming to your hometown. All right, good news for golf fans. Remember, next year, Warner Bros. Discovery is spinning off Golf Channel and other cable networks with that. And with this, Peacock and the Golf Channel have announced a deal to keep the U.S. Open and USGA Championship on the Golf Channel and on Peacock post-merger. So good news, a lot of questions about what the future of MSNBC, CNBC is, and the Golf Channel. And for now, this helps secure the future of the Golf Channel even once Warner Bros. Discovery spins it off. So if you're a golf fan like I am, good news. All right, today in TV history, this one's kind of shocked me. It doesn't seem possible it's been this long, but 28 years ago this week, the very first episode of South Park premiered on Comedy Central. You have to go all the way back to August 13th, 1997 for the very first South Park episode. Now, we probably heard a lot of South Park news. That becomes as South Park was in a big rights battle. For a while, they were on Max as a streaming. Paramount wanted to pull back rights. There was a debate. The owners of South Park weren't sure and threatened a lawsuit against Paramount because they thought they were going to get undercut in what they were worth versus what Max would have. Long story short, they got a huge payday, and now Paramount Plus is the worldwide exclusive home of South Park, who's been around for 28 years. How is that possible? I don't know. Anybody watch South Park? Let me know. And lastly, are we about to see another end of legacy media? Kodak is struggling to pay the bills. Now, caveat here, they had their earnings this week, and they warned they wouldn't necessarily be able to make some massive hundreds of millions of dollars of debt payments. But then they came out and said, no, don't worry, we're going to be fine. Take that with a big grain of salt, because I've heard this from other companies before. Now, Kodak very well may, but they're shutting down their pension program to try to save money, and they've been hit heavily by the move to digital. They were slower than they should have been to respond to the move to digital away from film on it. And now they are struggling. It'll be interesting to see if Kodak makes it or not. I suspect that even if they run into a problem where they're not able to make these payments, they go into bankruptcy, that Kodak, the brand is still so valuable, still well known, it would sell. But it would probably not be the Kodak you're used to today if that happened. Do you use anything Kodak? Do you do any film? I know there's been a slight resurgence of people using film. Do they like it? I don't know. Leave a comment. You let me know. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care. Be safe. I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.